What's up, everyone? Namecode Dustin here, Fantasy Smack Talk. This is our bi-weekly baseball show, and we're going to start off with something that we normally do, but it's been a while. A little bit of buy low, sell high.
One of our favorite segments. First, we're going to start with the buy lows and a couple of closers who are actually in our waiver wire post this week as well. But Ernesto Friere and Addison Reed, how are these guys not owned in more leagues? And if they are owned in your leagues, we think they're great buy low guys. Try to get in there now. Both of these guys have potential being top closers, especially Friere. He's averaging almost 2 Ks per inning and still only owned in less than half the leagues right now. It's ridiculous. If they're owned, try to get them cheap. I think they could be easily top 10 closers this year.
Next, we're going to talk about 2 hitters to be buying low, and it's 2 injured hitters. First one's the Kung Fu Panda, Pablo Sandoval, and then, of course, Matt Kemp, who was just playing like a beast. Here's the thing, if they're on teams that are kind of slipping in the standings, maybe you send an offer, try to grab them, and try to send back, a fairly good, healthy body, and then you can just wait them out a little bit. But we fully expect when both these guys to come back to just pick up right where they left off.
Let's move over to the sell highs. Our first guy, we might get a little bit of flack for this one, but Brandon Morrow, yes, he is a very good, young, talented pitcher. But over the last few years, ERA hasn't been that great. Last year, the Ks were definitely there. He's off to a great start this year. But here's the thing. If you can get full value for him now, why not? Because, yes, there is a chance he could keep it up, but there's also a chance he could go back to his ERA being over 4 like he has over the last couple of years.
I assume he regresses just a little bit. Now we got 4 bats to be talking about, and that's Jeter, Beltran, Ortiz, Konerko. A lot of these older guys that are really off to great starts, big name value recognition as well. If you can sell these guys for premium price right now, we think it's a great move because, again, a lot of times with trades, the name alone is such a big factor, and a name like Jeter playing that well, you can get something real good for him probably.
It's a long season, and they are old bodies. Waiver wire time. Let's talk about the must-adds in all leagues. Start with a couple of pitchers. James McDonald for Pittsburgh on 70% of leagues. Bud Norris out there with the Astros on 65%. Both these guys been around for a little bit, but they're really figuring it out this year. They've been pitching great as of late. I don't necessarily think they'll keep this pace up, but I think with their K counts and how they've been pitching this year so far, I think they could definitely be great fantasy pitchers from here on out.
All right, next we got a catcher. If you need a catcher in any way, shape, or form at all, go pick up LaCroix right now. He's only owning 55% of leagues, which is insane. We love this guy's upside coming into the year, and he's batting like basically 350, 5 bombs, 29 RBIs. I mean, the guy's been ridiculous, and he's a catcher for the love of God. Go get him if you need any help whatsoever.
He could be for real. All right, let's talk about some guys in deeper leagues. Old man Pettit. He's back with the Yankees. He's going to get the run support. I'm not really in love with picking up Andy Pettit right now, but I see him doing a lot of 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 innings, 3 earned run types outings. He's still getting the Ks, and like I said, he's going to get that run support being on the Yankees. You could do a lot worse.
Yeah, it's crazy. Next, we got Mitch Moreland. And, this guy's kind of been up and down, but as of late, the last 2 weeks, he's really been on an uptick. Batting 321's, got a couple of bombs, a few RBIs in that time frame as well. So, again, Mitch Moreland's certainly a bat that could help you out, at least in the short term here.
Next guy we're going to talk about is Trevor Bauer for Arizona. Only owning 10% of leagues right now. The reason we're calling him must-add in deeper leagues is because if you want to be the one that takes the gamble on him, you're going to have to do it soon because he's only going to keep getting hyped up more and more as the season goes on. He's going to get called up sooner rather than later. Once that news breaks that he's called up, he's going to be picked up within minutes. So now's the time to pick him up if you want to be the one to take the gamble on him. Obviously, he's a very talented young pitcher.
All right, now we got a little bonus edition for you here. We got a watch list with a lot of those minor leaguers coming up. Another guy, and that's Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs. This guy has just been killing it in the minor leagues. They're going to be calling him up sooner than later. We're thinking sometime in June. It's basically a lock. They said for interleague play, it's almost a guarantee he'll be called up then. So, this is a guy, if you need some help at first base, he's going to give you the power and probably give you a pretty good average as well.
One other guy to keep an eye on, that's Felix Doubront for the Red Sox. This guy's been in the Red Sox farm system since he was 17 years old. He's still young. He's pretty talented young starting pitcher. 53 Ks in 50 innings, but his walks are a bit of an issue, so he has somewhat of a high whip right now. But he's an interesting guy to keep an eye on and maybe pick up in the deepest of leagues.
All right, let's take a look at those forum questions. I'm going to start off with Giving this one to you, Dustin. We got from Dan P123. He wants to know, should it be trading Ethier and Fakal, and in return he'd be getting Torrey Hunter and Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, I think I remember reading this post. You were unsure about Torrey Hunter in this trade. It doesn't matter. Torrey Hunter, you're going to probably drop him and pick up a young guy with a bigger upside. The deal here is for Cabrera. The first overall pick in a lot of leagues for an aging shortstop, and Ethier, who storms out of the gate every year and then trails off. This is a no-brainer. You do this trade, you have to. All right, we got one from Keller. Keller, this one's a little tricky. Derek Jeter and Adam Jones for Tulowitzki.
Yeah, that is tough. I mean, Jeter's playing out of his mind right now. Adam Jones has been playing great as well. Tulowitzki, he's been playing better as of late, but he was on a downtick to start the year. To get first-round talent, this is what you're going to have to do to get it. So we're saying if the waiver wire is pretty deep with people, you might want to think about doing this. And again, looking at the post, I think a guy like Eric Hosmer, who's been playing terrible, is available on the wire. I expect him to pick it up. So you really got to look at this. Is Tolo and Hosmer for Jeter and Jones? It's risky. It's tough. But right now, as of today, I'm saying I'd pull the trigger.
Yeah, I'm with Brent on this one. I think
but it's scary.
It is a little scary, especially if Jeter finds a way to keep this pace up, but I'm not necessarily buying it. But that's our bi-weekly baseball show. As always, get in those forums if you got any questions, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Peace! Nice catch.